Good morning. For me, it's night, but good morning. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Jocko, Casper? Guys, things were amazing last night. Absolutely amazing. We're going to get more into it right now. We'll kind of go over the wins that we took. And oh my gosh, guys. When I say if we would have held a runner, I would have not streamed the rest of this week because I would have been in fucking Turks and Caicos spending probably like 20K. But granted, that's not trading. We don't have to hold into, again, price doesn't have to run like this, but what am I looking for? What is the data that I'm going to get off of these trades that I took last night? It's going to be how can I capitalize on these full moves? Because granted, I knew price was going to come down a little bit further than what our TP was, but let me go live first before I start yapping away. I always do this shit. Why ain't nobody stopping me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see the screen? Someone confirm for me. I traded DAX and FTSE. Can you guys see here? Perfect. So last night we took this sell on FTSE. I took this too. I told you guys if you guys want to take this, you could. Primarily, we're looking at DAX. Same thing happened. Same bias, guys. Again, we expected price to come down. Why? Because within this daily leg, where is it at? Tripping. Feeling some imbalance. Oh, we're facilitating this pullback. Okay, we're facilitating this pullback into this hourly imbalance. I knew price should come down here, and again, I was content with that. What are these pairs on futures? You'd have to look that up. You have to look that up. Again, like Top Step and some don't offer, like some firms. But going back into it, I knew price was at least going to fill this imbalance, but price did more than that. So what was the call for that? It could have been that price, again, wanted to facilitate a deeper pullback, but price did not have to do this, but it did. So maybe going forward, I leave a very small position in to run because, I mean, look at this. I mean, obviously, we're not going to catch it to the lows, but it's a crazy move, right? Same thing with UK 100. We're not going to catch it to the lows, but crazy move. Either way, we still capitalized on both and still had an amazing trading day last night. So what's up, Kitty? What's up, Cartoony? You're crazy. So let's go into today. DAX, it's looking all right. All right, my biggest thing is we are sitting within this, which looks to be starting of a pullback for this bearish leg that was created that broke this low. So we could see price go higher, but the one thing is going to the daily. The daily has, again, previous day, look at that top wick. That's pretty insane. That's kind of screaming sells. Price has already come up and filled this gap that was created from this original candle. Again, just price action doing its thing. So if we can now see this top wick and see price start selling off, we can look for some possible sells. But here's the thing. There's really nowhere for me to sell. I don't think I really want to sell just off of this. Right, I want a decent area to sell off of. Yes, we still have Tokyo lows down here. Price could sell off. My biggest thing is, again, just seeing price possibly push bullish to facilitate or finish facilitating that leg. Same thing with UK 100. Again, we have this bearish leg here. We could be facilitating this pullback. Again, price doesn't have to do that. We have not hit the equilibrium yet, but again, we don't have to. So we'll see what happens. As far as lower time frames, it does look better for sells. Again, maybe we could see some sort of area like here. Hold, and then we can look to sell if we get that bearish confirmation at the open. And again, we'd simply just be targeting Asia lows, right? There's a lot of liquidity sitting throughout this leg as it is, just at all these points. So again, we'll keep that in mind if we do enter sells. Bro, save my account. I lost half 500 rupees. Cartoony, why didn't you take the trades I called last night? You'd have been chilling. But so we'll see, guys. Again, we're not going to rush into it. We had a beautiful day yesterday. If this is your first day here, again, this is why I stay consistent, because today we may not even take a trade, but I'm fine with that. Why? Because I won. I've already won twice this week, so I can sit on my hands. Even if I didn't take any trades, even if I lost yesterday, I can sit on my hands at any time. And again, if you don't like that, sorry, but I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll see what happens. Truly, we'll see. I may enter here and but again, I like the daily more than anything, especially being that the daily is super overextended. And again, we ended pretty bearish. So I think we could see some decent sells potentially. So but again, if price opens bullish, then we might see that price facilitates the rest of this pullback, comes in, fills these gaps. And again, then it'll just kind of prepare us for tomorrow. And then we know tomorrow we can be expecting sells most likely. Are you going to look for gold or NQ2? I can look at gold, but I'm not necessarily going to trade it. Anyone trading NQ? Greg W. Hell yeah, Greg. What's up? I do book beginner. Guys, I traded gold during Asia. Let's go over it. I actually am teaching one of my close homies how to trade, and I've been trading Asia myself. Again, don't really call signals on it or anything like that, just because I'm just kind of messing around with it. But got these beautiful buys, and again, this is super simple. Even Mark, if you guys were on the Asia AMA with Mark, again, he called a beautiful buy. Same buy, actually. He got in a little bit lower at this area here, which was beautiful. But I saw this area, or saw this happen, and again, I knew that once price broke these highs, we could see price then come up and take this sell side liquidity. Not only that, if we look at the daily time frame, you can see that price left this gap on this last candle that, again, I expect price to come in and fill. Again, it could run higher into this gap, but I at least expect price to come into there. And again, price, this was my take profit, took us out. Good little day, came back down. Again, it's gold, it does this. That's why I wasn't going to hold. Even if I did, I would have been at break even, so I would have been taken out at break even. But, and again, price came back up, and I do think it should continue to run into that daily gap, or to fill that daily gap. So Asia, gold, it's been killing it. I can't lie. Cannot lie. Has anyone been trading gold during Asia? It's been good. Even yesterday, I think I caught something. Where was it? On the other day, I caught a pretty nasty. It was buys. I caught these buys over here, I think. It was like on this way up and during Tokyo. But focus is here, so let's come back here. What's up, Ahmad? What's up, Chu? DAX sells potentially, but there's just nowhere for me to sell. Again, this is why I say come into your own system, because sells do look good, but I have to follow my plan. I don't see anywhere for me to enter other than like all the way down here. But at this point, I don't even think I'd be willing to enter. If price came that far down within 9 minutes, there's just probably going to be a massive gap sitting up here that price is most likely going to pull back up into. And again, just looking at price, looking how the fact that we are technically internally bullish, we could respect this area and go higher. And not only that, again, we could be expecting that price to push higher due to the fact that we are looking to facilitate this leg here. And you may be wondering why you're not looking for buys. Yeah, okay, buys can look good, but I'm just not really looking for them, right? Again, I think sells in this case look better. I'm looking for that short-term push. If London confirms that it's going bearish, at least momentarily, I can just look to capture those quick moves into these areas of liquidity. Again, once we get to this first area of liquidity, I'm most likely going to be at break even just to ensure that, again, I'm playing it safe, but we'll see. So price, just like DAX, is internally bullish right now, so we could still continue to respect that. And again, it may be worth just sitting on our hands today to not take a loss, but at the same time, if I get my setup, I'm going to shoot. Why? Because I'd rather take a loss taking my setup than sit on my hands and watch my setup play out, right? Because then it's like, damn. But no Lani, she's probably lurking. Casper, she'll probably pop up right now. Bravo. NQ, I can check out NQ. I can check out Naz. Let's check out Naz. I heard Naz during London's actually not bad. I'd be expecting sells here, guys. I mean, at least from lower time frames. We're at all-time highs from what it looks like. And that yesterday's candle was pretty bearish. So I do think that if price gives you some type of bearish reaction, we have like this trend line that was kind of created. I don't trade trend lines, but if price were to give you some bearish reaction and break these lows, I do think price could come down and again start taking this buy side liquidity. Especially with the daily looking like this, or previous day, we're super that top wick is just insane. So I'm expecting this daily flip, and I'm expecting price to possibly fill this gap from yesterday as well. So bro, why do you only look for 101 RR? Because again, I'm not looking for big moves, but there is some times where I will look for bigger moves. And again, that's why I said yesterday we only secured a 101, because again, right here at this 101 point, we filled that gap. So price could have realistically filled that gap and continued with its overall bullish flow, right? Nothing says that price has to continue lower. In this case, price did continue lower, and I'm still getting data to figure out on how I can capitalize on those moves. But granted, 101 seems to work for us. A lot of the times we are just looking for those 101s. Why? Because we're just looking for those quick pushes into areas of liquidity. In this case, this right here stops to be at the high, of course, TP at the first area of liquidity, or in this case, Tokyo lows. Again, price can come lower than this. It can, but a lot of times price could just take liquidity. That's enough liquidity to make price flip and feel in the other direction to, again, maybe facilitate the higher time frame pullback. Again, it may have a different objective, but when we're looking for these short-term moves, it's typically only 1-to-1. It's typically those smaller moves. But let's say if we're on the other end of things, and in this case, we could be looking for buys because we're looking, let's say things were switched and we had a buy opportunity, because we know that buys are more supported by the fact that the higher time frame is in need of a pullback. In those cases, I will hold longer or look to hold longer because I have higher probability due to the fact that I have a stronger confluence to give me more confidence in holding. I think the win rate right now is like 70%, I think, but there's a couple trades that I didn't take that I called, and there's a couple trades that I do take that I didn't call, or I say you don't have to get in this one. So I'd have to go back and like really check for you. I have it all in the journal, so, but it's month to month. But I can fully check for you and tell you tomorrow. Gotcha. DAX is giving that bearish reaction, but again, we could just be coming down to do that. So we'll see. If UK 100 sells pre-market, guys, I'm just not getting in. Simple as that. Price comes down, fills this gap, and runs higher. I'm just simply just sitting on my hands at that point. We can just kind of chit chat. Again, not every day is a trading day. So if you joined, I'm glad you joined. Why? Because consistency. You never know. Today could have been another day where I caught 2 wins, like yesterday, right? Or tomorrow. If you missed tomorrow because today was no trading day and you're mad that I didn't take a trade, and tomorrow I come in here and take a win, or I win, and then you're like, fuck, you know, like. If it sells off before open, would look more for buys. Yeah. Opinions on order flow trading and top ticking futures stuff. What do you mean, cartooning? Hakeem, I'm sorry, I can't accept your thing. I would love to, but you can just selling off pre. Again, it's not a bad thing. What this can signify to, or again, ultimately it's just going to give us data. If price comes down, takes this low, fills this gap, and runs higher, okay, what's our data say? Okay, we were pretty bullish internally, didn't have the best price action today overall. I came into the stream telling you guys that. That's good data going forward. Also, if price goes, sells off, takes this low, and comes down here during London, again, that tells me our bias was correct. Even though we didn't have the best looking setup today, it still played out. We got that short-term sell, London opened bearish, we're that quick down to the Asia lows. Again, I'm not in, but it would be good liquidity. Please share your journal. Yeah, I can share my journal with you. The Notion one, like a free one, like just for you guys' use. Because I have a free one that anyone can use. I'll send it to you guys. It's on Notion. Super simple. Nah, no trades yet. This is it. So this is the one I use. Obviously mine's filled out, but it's month to month, so you can track win rate, current balance, and again, you just go down here. You would have to duplicate it, of course, but once you duplicate, you add it to your own, and then you can add all your trades, and it does all the calculations for you and everything. So if you guys want to take use, that's pretty cool. I'll send it to YouTube as well. There you go, YouTube. Have fun. Honestly, data is the biggest thing, and you guys know I always talk about data, and it's probably wrong of me to talk about data and not send you guys a journal, but take advantage of it. It's free, honestly. Like, here, let me show you this. So this is, once you duplicate it, you can again add anything here. You can, when you opened it, the time you opened it, close, what pairs, direction, all the accounts, month to month, sessions, risk, commissions, gross P&L, and again, it does the calculations for you, profit, break even. If you were negative, it does loss. It's pretty cool. So how are you doing today? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Guys, price sold pre, it's fine. I'm not stressing on it. It's just going to be a no trade day, I think. If you guys want to hop out of here because you're mad, by all means go for it, but granted, you're still probably going to learn something. I say stick around because again, there's going to be data that is going to be learned from this trade within the next 30 seconds, right? Is price going to go up? And again, we can get data that price most likely will facilitate the higher time, or the lower, in this case, the hourly pullback, rather than facilitate what the daily is saying it may do. Stuff like that. Again, look at UK 100. We sold off pre-filled that gap, and now we're having a massive reaction to the opposite way. So now if price opens bullish, again, I'm not necessarily getting in. Yeah, you could, like price. Actually, price would look fucking fire. I can't lie to you. Hold on. DAX, bullish reaction, mid reaction. Buys don't look bad, guys. I can't lie. Can't lie, but we'll see. I could get in buys, guys. I may shoot just because yesterday was an amazing day. And the biggest thing is just because we also are, again, expecting the price to facilitate. This would be perfectly into the equilibrium for a 101, which would be perfect. We've seemed to fill this gap. So again, if we do break these highs, price should in theory continue with that London volume is what we're hoping for. Again, I said no trade day, but honestly, I didn't realize how good buys looked. Again, I told you price could come down, fill that. I honestly expected price to dump at London open. That's why I was just saying fucking it was going to sell, but we'll see what happens. I think I'm getting in at the highs there if price just pumps. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Price is a little slow off the jump. DAX is running higher. Again, we kind of expected that possible buy. That's why we were kind of sat on our hands. DAX was already out of the picture. DAX is too overextended. Again, you can hop in buys if you want to once price breaks these highs. I like UK 100 better. Again, it's honestly a better thing for us to see both of them moving within the same direction. We'd like to see that. So hopefully today UK 100 is the strong pair. Again, usually we do say UK 100 have the most volume at London Open. Granted, we're only 3 minutes in. It's moving a little bit slower, but we'll see. Hopefully we do get that last 2-minute push, get some volume in that candle. We'll see. Again, I don't really trade fair value gaps necessarily, but when I see it's price action, it's just seeing price have perfect order flow. Like, I mean, look at this. Price came down, filled that gap, and now had a massive bottom wick. And again, it's super simple. It's what I did on gold earlier. Price came down, filled its gaps, then it came down right here, filled that last gap here, broke these highs, and again, you're just running into opposing liquidity. In this case, there's no opposing liquidity. We have New York highs here, yes, but we also know that price will facilitate these pullbacks, at least where into the equilibrium. Not only that, we have all this imbalancing throughout here. So you guys heard me talking about buys earlier. In this case, I could possibly see myself scaling out, leaving a runner and letting it run. Why? Because again, you see all this imbalance sitting within this leg, and you know that price tends to fill those areas of imbalance in. So we could see a deeper pullback into deeper levels, but granted, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. We could see rejection at the equilibrium, and then we could see a reversal. See what happens here. I mean, I'm getting in once price breaks those highs. I don't have to see it on this candle. Honestly, genuinely speaking, I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer to see this candle print, next candle fill this gap, and then we see that break. That would just give me extreme confidence. Volume dead, Jocko. You're not going to trade. Volume is kind of dead. Again, we don't always have to see those massive spikes, guys. London is bound to move throughout the entirety of London, the entirety of New York. Yes, volume And in this case, there's a little bit less volume than what we're used to seeing on UK100. But we'll still see what happens. If we get entered in and price loses, okay, what can we say? There was not a lot of volume at the start of London. That could have been the cause for price not going to our full TP. There was not a lot of volume, right? But price could win. And again, it goes to show, okay, there was still low volume, but price did end up playing out. Maybe it's because we had a very, very strong higher time frame bias in the sense that we know that price should end up facilitating that pullback. Don't lie, have I ever said any derogatory terms? Cartoony, I've never said anything about, no, never. Don't ask me that shit. Don't ask me those questions, Cartoony. Oh, fuck. Guys, I don't mind this. Again, I expected price to push bearish. Let's see. Let's hope for that bottom wick to form. Again, if price just flips, beautiful. It saves us from taking a bad trade because that just shows that price was looking to go bearish. LOL, Cartoony future. I'm glad you switched over to the fucking Discord. You don't have to read Cartoony's chats anymore. Bro's a monster. Bro doesn't realize my career could fucking end like that, and he asked me the most crazy questions, bro. That's not that bad. I'm probably over exaggerating, like out the ass, but wish you guys could see me. Whoa, can you guys see me now? Or no, you can't. Fuck. Oh. It's weird. Like on Windows, like on desktop, so I'm on my PC right now. It doesn't let you use the same camera for both Discord and YouTube Live, or like OBS, I guess you could say. But on MacBook, it does. I don't get it. DAX is pushing. That's nice to see. Nice to see. UK 100 is doing what I'd said it may do, which is again just come down, fill that in, create that bottom wick, and now we're just kind of hoping for that flip, and we're hoping to see this candle now push bullish. And again, from here I'd be comfortable. I'd say you could move stops here, but we're just going to play it safe. I'm fine keeping them here. Again, price has been known to still come down, but granted, there's really no more gaps for price to come down into. So in theory, I guess price shouldn't come down any further. You can have a tighter stop, be out earlier, or you'll get more R on the trade. But again, do as you please. That's why I say please, please, please have your own system, because again, sometimes I'm wrong. It's trading, you know what I'm saying? So I want to listen to music so bad. Well, I don't want to say that's necessarily a bad reaction, but in our case, being that we are expecting buys, we don't want to see that. We're not in buys, so we can't be mad, right? But we'll see. I mean, look at DAX. DAX is just liquidating those highs. That really could make me end up removing limits. Granted, I like to more look at or base DAX off UK 100 because UK 100 is more of the mover. But we'll see how this candle ends. I mean, it still seems to possibly could be ending good. Thank you, Casper. DAX took me out at break even. Okay. Oh, fuck. Slow price. Again, honestly, I could care less if price printed against us. If price prints against us, I'm probably just going to remove limits at that point. I mean, DAX is still pushing strong technically, so let's see if we get a full break of that high. Went for buys on DAX. Nice. Again, buys look good, guys. Price can go higher. If that's your plan, go for it. I just really had no area to enter in off of. I don't want to enter in off just this area here. You maybe think I'm doing the same thing here, but we have a couple points of rejections off this area, and that's why I like taking that area. So not only that, we have beautiful price action throughout here. So beautiful ending here. I like that. I'm going to keep limits there. If we get that push higher, we're in. Let's see what happens. This candle's about to close. Let's see if we get that pump on the next one. Granted, there's not as much volume, but again, we're 10 minutes into the session, right? We're 10 minutes in, so let's give it some time. Should I walk away for 10 minutes, come back? All right, so DAX seemingly treated it as a liquidity sweep, but if price continues to obviously go higher, that's not the case. Or when I say liquidity sweep, like a manipulation to push price lower is what I really mean. But DAX is looking strong. UK 100s being slow as fuck. Slow. We'll give it some time. If you're in DAX buys, it's looking strong. I don't know what to do. I'm just like wondering why UK 100 is so dead right now. It's actually so slow, making me like want to remove limits and get off stream. And granted, like price could end up still playing out, but this is very low volume. Very low. I don't want to end up getting in and then just price just ends up having just ranges and just fucks around. This shit too, like this fair value gap is respected like a motherfucker here. Again, I don't necessarily look at fair value gaps. But again, like overall price is bearish, so buys may not happen, and then that's fine. So we're not in, and that's why we wait for that break. We could come down, fill this last gap down here, and then come higher, because again, we have to facilitate this pullback, but it just doesn't necessarily have to happen now. It can happen in a fucking, I wouldn't say a year, but it could. Price could just continue to dump, but at some point it's going to come back up. So same thing with DAX. Prices, again, it's already seeming like it's wanting to facilitate that pullback. It's going to fill these gaps in, at least come into equilibrium, and then possibly dump price further. But overall price is bullish, so we could just continue to see price make new highs from there. Went longs on DAX, easy moments breakout, a couple points away from 101. I love that, Manny. Fire. Fire again. Yeah, guys, DAX looks fucking fire, guys. DAX looks fire. They both look fire. We're just seeing of some very slow price action right now. So we'll see. Typically UK 100 is fucking bombing. I mean, you just look at yesterday. Crazy volume. So weird day. Very weird day. Honestly, I genuinely speaking, I like being in right at London Open. I find my most wins is when we're in at London Open. Just super aggressive. I think genuinely speaking, most losses are when price is slower, just like this, and we kind of play later, but that does not mean price still won't play out according to my like bias, right? So That's why I'm still willing to shoot as of right now. Like if price just continues to stutter and range within the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm out of here. 30 minutes, I'm not in a trade. Is it calling it? So even then, like I said, I like being within the first 5 to 10 minutes. I like being in. I like being in. Why? Because I know that it's super. I mean, just look what I went back. I mean, just look at all these London sessions. Look at the first 5 to 10 minutes. Super volume filled. First 5 minutes, super volume filled. You know you're in on these cells right here. Boom, break. Again, if I would have waited for a retest, and this is why I'm aggressive too, is because if I would have waited for a retest here, there's no fucking retest. The price is just shooting. Same thing here. Price is just shooting. So again, here, I guess you may have had somewhat of a retest, but most of the time price is just shooting. And again, I'm willing to shoot. I'm willing to be aggressive. Just hit 101 DAX. Should I take half my profit? That's truly up to you, man. Granted, DAX could continue to run higher. I mean, if we just look at this leg, if we were to just use a fib just to kind of give us more accurate levels as far as where equilibrium is, I think price is bound to come up into here at least, right? But again, price could end up chopping around. Price did make a couple gaps on this push up, so we could see a momentary pullback before price ends up going into that equilibrium. So it just depends on how you want to manage it. And this is where data comes in. So like if you don't already have data, use this trade as data. Okay, does price just continue running higher? And in some cases it will, but in some cases it will facilitate that pullback and then it will go higher, meaning you either lose out on that trade or you get out at break even or whatever it may be, right? So again, data is ultimately going to show you that, and data is really what builds your system, because you may have a system, but I mean, even now I still get data. Why? Because things are subject to change. I could still find something new or something that's affecting my system or something that could help my system. And I'm not just jumping into making changes. I say this all the time, guys. You guys are probably annoyed by this, but I get data on something. Once I have data to back up a change, then I'll make a change. So I'm in DAX, Jocko, fire. How about gold? Gold looked good for sales. I can't lie. Swept Tokyo highs. We have a lot of liquidity sitting down here. I think price is most likely to continue to come down and take this buy side liquidity. So fire. Can't lie to you. Fire. So I think from there we could see price then flip to come higher, but it's gold, so it doesn't have to. Choppy, guys. Giving it about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're just calling it, because at this point, low volume. Don't want to get faked out. True, that's where I got to fix your mindset. It's not necessarily, it is partially mindset, but a lot of it is just understanding your system, understanding the ins and outs of it, the exit criteria, the management, like everything. Like that's where data is just so important. And some people don't realize that for years. And it's like, all you need to know is you need one system, and you need to sit there for months on end, trading, getting data, refining, making it better, making appropriate changes based off data. And I'm telling you, you'll see results like no other. You will. Like I tell all that, and I make every single person in my mentorship do that. And anyone that followed my advice, the results go to show. If again you follow me, I'm posting them all the time. They're always texting me in the morning how they made money. It's amazing. So but again, when people come into my mentorship, I don't force them to trade what I trade. I give them my system because it works, but you can use any system. It's just the approach. It's just understanding the approach, right? What you got to do with that system, how to track trades, how to get data, what data is used for, right? Because again, data ties into everything: risk, how long to hold, where your stop loss is, when to exit early, if you want to exit early because it may not be worth it. Again, everything comes from data. So keep that in mind. And again, scroll up if you just joined in, because I did send you a trading journal, and that trading journal ultimately is just going to help you with data. Why? Because you can go in there and you can put all your trades in there. You can track the exact time you took it. You can track when you took it, like what session. You can put pictures, you can put notes. And again, ultimately, once you have all that data, you can then go back on it and see if there's anything that, again, you can work on. I've been losing most of my losses. I've noticed I do this, right? most of my wins, I notice I do this. Let me try to do this more so I can win more, and let me try to do this less so I lose less, right? That's, if you guys aren't doing that, I'm sorry, like, you're taking the wrong approach. And granted, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm not just here to like give you guys fucking free signals and free money. I believe so, Tim. Yeah. But again, like I said, like these like, yes, I call trades here. We win, we make money, but it's not just for that. This is to actually learn something. And again, if you take my advice, you run with it, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Because it's the same steps I took to get me here. And it's the same steps that Luca took to get him there. And Mamba and everyone. I'm telling you. You're looking. I love that. I actually love that so much. And hey, man, that's why you got to understand something is Mamba's super busy. And when Mamba makes time for you guys, like, you guys really should take advantage of that, because he's a busy guy. And I am too. Like, I have a lot of meetings, but I'm just not at that level yet. And that's why I'm here, is just to be able to help you guys and teach you guys, because ultimately I'm in a great position. I'm in the position to help. It'd be wrong of me not to, right? And that's why we're here. And that's why Mark's here. Again, there's lives during Asia, London, New York. There's lives all the time in here, guys. You guys should be taking advantage of all of it, even if it's not to trade with us, right? Even if it's just to chat with us, to get to know us, because I'll tell you right now, the best way to grow in this industry is through other people, is to network, is this and that. And that's why, like, I'm talking to like legacy people here too now, is that's why we plan on having meetups with you guys, because we want you guys to be able to network with us. Like, if you guys did not know, I met Luca at a networking event. One conversation led to another. 2 years later, I'm now in this position, and I'm now in front of you guys teaching you guys. So, and the only reason I'm telling you that is because I'm just telling you guys, join the lives, network, DM people, reach out. Again, that's why I'm here. I'm not just going to ghost you. I'm not going to just not answer you. So, price is selling. I'm removing limits, guys. No trade day. I can't be mad with that. We're still on a win streak from yesterday. If you're in DAX buys, I clap it up for you. I just didn't have the entry. So, did not have the entry. So, I'm just not going to force anything, guys. It's just what it is. So, gonna remove all my limits real quick. And again, if price does end up coming up and playing out with our bias, great, I'll have good data. If once it ends up going against us and come down here, it's still going to give me good data, because again, do you remember our original bias? Our original bias was sells into these lows. So if price does end up playing that out, again, data. So what do you think about 50% consistency rule? Honestly, Kletsu, I've seen work. Like, it's not even bad. And I say it's not even bad is because I know firms with 30% consistency rules, but that consistency rule should not affect you in any way if you know how to trade. And the reason I say that is because all it's for is to really make sure that you know what you're doing as a trader, making sure that you have correct risks and you're not just coming in here and trying to just full port, right? Because that's not trading, that's gambling at the end of the day. And that's what it's for. Like, granted, you have to understand a lot of these rules are only to help you guys. And again, it's also to show us that you guys are at a good enough point or good enough traders to be given money to then use to leverage to make money with, right? So don't look at it as a bad thing. And I know a lot of you guys are, but you guys should not even have to deal with it. You guys shouldn't. Like, you guys shouldn't. If you guys have good risk management, you guys are placing appropriate risk, you guys can still catch these 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s perfectly fine. And granted, there's statistically speaking, majority of the people who end up making profits, 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2 are, you know, so like that 50% rule shouldn't even really get in your way, right? So I think honestly, you'll be good. I won't have a problem with it personally. So Apex will not make after 1240. They won't let you trade it. Well, that's gay. I'll make sure that's not the case, guys. No trade day. I'll make sure that's not the case here. Hopefully we'll get it. I assume we will. I'll run it up, guys. But with that being said, good little stream. Good AMA. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, 11:45. Again, come back. Let's win. Didn't lose. Didn't win. So can't be mad, guys. But hopefully you learned something. I'll be back tomorrow. Get a beautiful stream. I'll see you guys then. All right, guys. I'm out the AMA. What's up, stream? Whoa, is price going to give us entry? Guys, price probably is most likely going to end up buying up here, guys. I think buys are looking more favorable than sells, especially being that DAX isn't pushing bullish here. So if you guys want to get in, by all means, go for it. I'm just going to end up. I had a beautiful day yesterday. I can't be mad. So I'll be back tomorrow. We'll win it. So see you guys then.